Morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. We're going to do a little imagining together. That world that works for everyone. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. I think you know this song, yeah? No hell below us, above us, only sky. Just use your imagination. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die from, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A family of men. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. So taking just a moment, allow your imagination to experience the world that works for everyone. What is that? Bringing your heart center back into this moment, this place, this time, and knowing the truth, that no matter what the future holds, we're all right, we're safe, we're well, and we know what to do with the moment that we know. Bringing your hands to your heart space. Let this reassurance just come from the center. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. In this and every moment,
is
in this and every moment. I am safe and all is well. I am held, I am whole. I surrender through it all. When I trust and let go, then I know that all is well. All is well. Allow yourself to just be in this present moment. So safe. I am safe and all is well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. Sing this blessed, this freedom out into the ethers, out to the whole earth. Just sending peace and wellness, knowing that all is one. And the truth of us is always love. I am held, I am whole. I surrender through it all. When I trust and let go, then I know that all is well. I am well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. Speak this to your heart. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. I am safe and all is well. I am safe and all is well. It's a beautiful day.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New You. You're a new you. You made it. You made it through another year, didn't you? Well, welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Steve Van Meter, your senior minister, and it's my honor and privilege to welcome you here this morning. And we're going to start as we start every Sunday morning, and that's with reading our Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living Vision and Mission Statement, which is just above me here or on your Zoom screen, which says that we are an open, loving, spiritual community dedicated to evolving consciousness through teaching spiritual principles. You'd think I know that by doing it for the last few years, but so you made it. This is the place to be. You would be nowhere else, or you would be somewhere else. And we want to thank you for making this your spiritual destination for this morning. Again, you were given some handout stuff, a whole bunch of literature when you walked in, and basically the pink ones and the envelope can all go into the offertory, and we'll make sure it gets to the right place. But what's going to happen is these are going to go on our altar, my altar, and I will pray for them for a year and send them back to you. And these ones I'm going to take to my sacred fireplace at my home and burn them ritually. I'm not going to look at these. There's no need to. I don't even know who did what. But this is what you want to release. You know, any fear or challenge, or maybe an old relationship, or maybe an old thought or belief about something. Maybe it's an old physical ailment that you're ready to get rid of. Maybe you want to just write it down on here. And this is how we release back into the nothingness from which it came. And there's a basket up here if you want to put it in the basket. Some people like that feeling. So welcome again, and I'm going to read the announcements for this morning. And we have a mask update, and our community risk level has moved back to very high because of the Omicron variant. So to keep our center open, we're requiring face masks, and they must be worn correctly over your nose and mouth. Face shields can also be worn in addition to masks, but they are not in place of masks because they don't provide the safety that masks do. So if you have any questions or comments about that, I will love to chat with you after service about it. AV issues. Hello, Zoom people. And we know that sometimes, yes, say hello. Let's hear it for our Zoom. We have a virtual Zoom community of people, and we're so blessed to have them with us. And we know that there's been an AV challenge, especially the video or the audio is not that great. And we are working on that. We just installed an Ethernet cable that runs from our router all the way into the computer, which is going to give us a better signal for our Zoom people. And also, we're going to be hooking up a audio feed from the board directly into our laptop, which is, for all of you tech people, who's going to help with that. So just want you to know that we are aware of the issues and we're working on it. You know, it's a work in progress. So we're doing a membership drive. Yay! And we've gotten 3 new members in our membership drive. And we haven't had new members in probably 1.5 to 2 years because we haven't been open. So to get, you know, several new members, if maybe you've been coming for a long time and think you're a member, but if you haven't filled out the form, you're not a member. So make sure that you are a member if you'd like to be, because membership has its privileges. We're starting a class tomorrow on the basics of science of mind called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. And for members, new members, it's a $100 discount. For members who have been members, it's a $50 discount. The class is normally $145. The $45 is for the certificate, and the $100 for the class, which is waived if you become a member. So in your, I don't think we put them in the bulletins today, but if you want to be a member, on the back table or membership applications, please get one or see me and I'll get you one, okay? My mic. Yes, got my mic.
You still sound good.
Well, this is for later. Yeah. This thing is, which brings me to our next. We need an audio video assistant. Angelo, thank you for stepping in today. If it wasn't Angelo, it would be me running back and forth to the audio board in between our whole setup here. So we do need assistance with that. If you would like to assist with AV and you know something or want to learn something, please come see me and we will set something up because we need your assistance. Fundraising committee is on January 9th at noon here in the sanctuary. We'll meet to discuss future fundraising activities, bring your ideas, and we'd love to hear what you have to offer to our center, as well as being on that committee that helps us to raise our funds to keep this church live and vibrant. The Wednesday evening gathering that's on Zoom is on hold until further notice. We're revisioning that, so right now it's on hold. Metaphysical book study group started this morning at 9 a.m. I want to thank the 5 people that came. And what we're doing is we're listening to and reading the Edwene Gaines book, The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. What we do is we put the CD on, and it's actually her reading the book. And then we stop it at periodic places and discuss what ideas she's talking about. It's very powerful. It's from 9 to about 9:45, 10 o'clock over at the LEC. And there is a love donation that's accepted with that group to make sure that we can pay for the heat or the air conditioning as we get into summer for that. So let's see. And I already talked about the new class. It starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. and goes till 8:30. And it is on Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. It's the basics of Science of Mind. It used to be this 10 class, and it still is a 10-week class, but they've abbreviated it to 5 weeks and abbreviated the time so it's not as lengthy, so it's not as heavy duty, but you get all of the spiritual elements that you will need to understand Science of Mind and how to change your thinking and change your life. So that is all for our announcements this morning. I want to just thank you all for being here, and Happy New Year to you guys. You know, there's a new energy. I don't know if you felt it or you're about to feel it anyway. So prepare yourself for what you're about to receive. And right now we will all stand as Traja leads us as we sing We Are One. Blessings.
We are one. We are one. I am you, you are me. We are one. And in this unity, we shall live in harmony. As peace has come, as we are one, we are one, we are one. I am you, you are me, we are one. And in this unity, we shall live in harmony, as peace has come, as we are one.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's read our gratitude together, which is it up there? Yes. How glad I am to feel the wonder of spirit everywhere, and to recognize that I am an integral, unique part of it. And so it is. So welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. Happy 2022. My name is Deborah Perdue, and I'm your podium practitioner for today. Paula Peterson is our table practitioner, and she's holding the high watch for all of us, which means she is just flooding this room with love and light and the divine essence of God. If you are in need of prayer, you can see her after the service. And will the practitioners that are available after service for a short prayer, please raise your hand. I'm available. Thank you, Tracia and Paula. If you have a prayer request, In the seat backs are yellow prayer requests. You can fill one out and place it in the box on the practitioner table after service or hand them into the collection plate. We love to pray with you and for you, and it doesn't have to be a challenge. It can be more joy or more peace or more love in your life. And we pray for about a week, and please use us. We love that. The blue forms are called demonstration forms, and those are for prayers that have come true. And we'd love to hear about those as well. So fill one of those out if you want to share answered prayers. It's time for the birthday song and to celebrate the people that are born in January. So if you're born in January, please stand so that we can celebrate you.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
And if you haven't already, please turn your cell phones down so that they're silenced. Thank you. And let's read the prayer on the screen together. As I let go of old patterns and experiences, I embrace the possibilities of a brand new year. The light and love of spirit brighten my heart. I am renewed.
And so it is.
And we're going to sing the I Am Love song. Stay seated as we sing it.
We started and I'm like, we're good.
Beautiful. So for our meditation time, I'm going to read something and then we'll go ahead and all meditate together. It's always more powerful when we're all joining together in silence and in prayer. The first part is from a quote from Rabindranath Tagore. For many years, at great cost, I traveled through many countries, saw the high mountains, the oceans. The only thing I did not see were the sparkling dewdrops in the grass just outside my door. I am incredibly grateful to pay attention to all the tiny and vast miracles that are literally right outside my doorstep. Nature constantly reveals the blessing of life, the beauty of life, the joy of life. I stop and breathe. I live in the present moment. And when I do, sparkling wonders do await. Let's spend time in the present moment together, in this wonderful silence together, contemplating what I just read for a few minutes, and being in the present moment, and I'll keep our time. When you feel ready, please open your eyes and come back to the room. In this now moment, I know that this Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living service is a blessing to each person who is with us today, and that we are each joined in spirit, and I feel the deep love and peace that is palpable in this room and in the Zoom room and on Facebook. I'm deeply thankful. Amen, and so it is. And so it's now time for some special music by Treasure, followed by Reverend Steve's talk. Thank you.
You can play the game, you can act out the part, but you know it wasn't written for you. Tell me, how can you stand there with your broken heart, ashamed to play the fool? One thing can lead to another, it doesn't take any sacrifice. Oh, father and mother, sister and brother, if it feels nice, don't think twice. Just shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. I know things are gonna be just fine if you only will do as I say. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. I know things are gonna be much better if you only will. You know this song, you don't sing along. You can run, but you cannot hide. This is what you know. What you plan to do about your foolish pride when you're all by yourself alone. Once you tell somebody the way that you feel, you can feel it beginning to ease. I think it's true what they say about the sweetly real, always getting the grease. Better to shower the people you love with love. Show them your way you feel. I know things are gonna be just fine if you only will. What I wanna do today, shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. I know things are gonna be much better if you only will. Taking a moment, send out that love. Kids, to grandkids, mom and dad. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. They say in every life, they say the rain must fall, just like the pouring rain. Make it rain. Make it rain.
Thank you, Treasure. How good it is to have live music, isn't it? Great. Mostly alive. You're alive, aren't you? I think you're alive. Well, January, here we are, January 2022. And oh yeah, we want to just ask if there's anybody that's first time here at the center. We have a gift for you. If you just raise your hand, we have a little welcome packet so that everyone feels welcome. Thank you, new visitors. I'd like to say, we've been expecting you, so thank you for not disappointing us. And Angela, could you take my sound down just a little bit? I'm getting a little ring. So here we are in 2022. And can you guys hear me okay on Zoom? Okay, all right, just making sure before I go too far. I hate to get to the end of my talk and they go, we can hear things. If you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. Now's the time to wake up. You've hit the snooze bar long enough. You came here for a reason. And you're living that reason right here and right now. If the infinite were to stand before you and give you a piece of paper saying exactly what you're supposed to be doing, it would say exactly what you're doing right now. Because it can be no different. There's no accidents in the universe. You are in the life you're living for a reason. Now, you can resist that. You can be ticked off about that, or you can embrace it and go, okay, this is mine, and I'm going to live this like nobody else can live it. I am going, you know what, if I'm going to mess this thing up, I'm going to mess this up like no one else's business, because it's my mess up, and I'm going to claim it as my mess up. I want my initials on that mess up, so that I can remember it if I come around this way again, that I did that. And in claiming your challenge, you claim your triumphs. Everything that you have done up to this moment has gotten you to this moment. It could be no other way, or it would have been. So here you are, dancing the dance with two left feet. Hey, that's creative. I'm dyslexic. I can dance with two. Do I recognize the extraordinary benefit of me being extraordinary? Do you know how creatively special you are? You are a one of a kind. They broke the mold after you, and you are special, just like everybody else. So here we are, being totally different, but being one and the same thing at the same time. I think that's part of the universe's little joke. You know, I'm gonna make them all different and then tell them that they're all one. And we have to figure that out, and that's called life. That's what we're doing now, is trying to figure it out. How are we all one and different in the same moment? You know, spiritual living doesn't just happen. You know, you have to live your life on purpose. You have to dance like no one's watching. Because if you're like me, I'm not a great dancer, but I can dance. You know, you put some Scorpions on, or, you know, maybe some Ted Nugent, and I will dance. You know, don't put any of that soft stuff on. I like the soft stuff, but I'm more of a heavy metal hard rock dancer, just because there's no, you know, you can do anything with that. But spiritual living means that you dedicate your life to the highest and best that it can be all the time, as best as you can. Now, does this mean that I do it perfectly all the time? Absolutely not. I mess up all the time. I say the wrong things. I'm inappropriate. Sometimes I take people off, but that's part of it. You know, if you play it safe and color inside the box all the time, you're not going to experience that feeling of not knowing what to do next. And that's where the bliss is losing yourself so much that you have to call on your spiritual guides, your angels, your energy to say, help me. help me. You know, this holy day season, you know, one of my favorite movies is It's a Wonderful Life. Have you guys all seen it? No? If you haven't, you got to watch it. I don't want to ruin it for those of you that haven't seen it. There's a scene where Jimmy Stewart, Mr. Bailey, is in the bar. And he's in the midst of his challenge. And he's wringing his hands. And he's visibly tearing up. And he's praying. He said, God, you're out there. I'm not a praying man. But I need your help. And I just cry every time. You know, we've all had that moment of desperation where we lost ourselves so much that we did not know what the hell to do next. And we called out for something. We said, I don't know. I don't know where to turn. I don't know what to do. That's when the miracle happens. That's when everything changes. Because we don't admit, well, I know everything and I know what to do here and I know it's all going to be fine. Because we don't. But I'll tell you that it is always going to be fun. Because that energy that brought you here isn't going to push you off a cliff without giving you wings or teaching you to swim or teaching you how to transcend this thing called life into the next greatest yet to be, whatever that looks like, if you believe in that sort of thing. So spiritual living is not just something that we do when we come here on Sunday mornings and kumbaya together. You know, it's something that we need to live in every moment. We need to constantly be re-upping our spiritual living. You know, if you've ever tried to quit a habit, like smoking or eating chocolate or what have you, it's not something you just go, I'm just going to stop doing this, and then it just stops. It's something you have to work on a constant basis to relieve yourself of. It doesn't happen overnight. Now, it can happen in the twinkling of an eye. I believe in miracles, absolutely. But usually for me, there's been a process to things. There's been a moment-to-moment decision. Sometimes it's 5 minutes at a time, because that's about as long as my attention span is. Maybe sometimes it's 30 seconds at a time where I have to reaffirm something. But we need to constantly call in spiritual assistance. And it's actually not calling it in, it's calling it out. Because it's already there. You are already as spiritual as you're going to be. All these classes and workshops and Sunday morning ain't going to add an inch to your height. But it will remind you of what you have inside you that you can let it out. You know, over the years, we've piled all these beliefs on top of this looking glass. And it's skewed our vision of ourselves. And it takes a certain amount of time to polish that after we've heaped on lots of grit and dust from our journey. But that's what this is. That's what being spiritual is constantly cleaning the window of your perception, cleaning the filter of your being. When we do this, life flows easier, choices are clear, and seemingly miracles are everyday occurrences. You know what miracles are? It's like, oh, it's a miracle. They went into remission. There's no cancer. It's a miracle. We changed our belief and something changed. A miracle is a science that we just don't understand. And it's okay. I don't need to know how a miracle works, but I need to believe that it does. And there's nothing more powerful than a mind that it's made up in its mind to do, be, or have something. Nothing more powerful in the universe. Why? Because we are stubborn. We are bulldozers. And if we get our hooks into something, our mind hooks, it takes a while to undo it. That's why, you come into this teaching and you learn these things about you are it. And it takes a while to actually demonstrate that you are it. Because there's a process to it. And the process is the time and energy it takes to change your mind. Let's take a hound dog. Hound dogs have a scent, an ability to smell like so acute that if I were to take a hot dog and just walk it through this room and put it in the kitchen, a hound dog can come in and walk the exact path that I took that hot dog in and go into the kitchen and find it. What does a hound dog do when they're off the scent? Well, they buy the book, they go to the workshop, they decide, I'm gonna start going to church on Sunday so they can change their mind. No, they go right to where the scent is. I wish I had the acute scent spirituality of a hound dog, that I could change my mind instantaneously and leave the past behind and just walk on knowing the truth. But it doesn't always work that way. Now, again, I believe in miracles, and that absolutely can happen, but sometimes there's a process. In Centers for Spiritual Living, we have this thing called our Declaration of Principles, and it says that this one is manifested in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. Ernest Holmes, man, what a genius. I mean, to synthesize world religions into this teaching so that we didn't have to figure it out. Now, some of these ideas may be totally foreign to you. You may go, I don't believe that's how it works. And that's okay. Skepticism is healthy. But don't get hung up on things not going a certain way, because there may be laws in the universe that are working that you don't understand. Take the law of gravity. We all know how it works, right? You pick something up and it drops, right? Now, you know how that works. You've used it in your life to step up a curb. And if you didn't, you tripped. And what did you do after you tripped? You look back at the curb like it raised itself. Like it wasn't there a second before. But it was you that tripped up the curb because you didn't understand how high it was. You can curse the curb all you want. It's not going to change the curb. You need to learn how to lift your foot higher. In this teaching, we teach how to lift our consciousness higher to understand spiritual principles, the law of attraction. If you focus your attention on what's not working, the universe says, yes, let me show you what's not working. And you get more of what's not working. And then you blame the spiritual principle for the problem. You go, see, I didn't think it worked, so it's not working. When you are perfectly demonstrating the spiritual principle of it working. So when you change your mind to what I do want to happen, what is the positive outcome? What does it look like to have a healing? What if this, whatever you're walking through, is completely healed right now? What would it feel like? What if you woke up this morning and that wasn't the first thing on your mind? What would you have to think about? When I was first in this teaching, my practitioner said, you can only tell that story one more time, and I'm going to call you on it every time you bring it up again. And I was so ticked off. So what am I going to talk about? If I can't talk about my problems, what do I talk about? She goes, I don't know, but you're going to find something else because you're holding it in place by talking about it. I said, but worrying is fixing the problem. She's like, yeah, how's that working out? Ouch. Man, truth hurts sometimes. When I read that in the textbook, man, I threw that textbook across the room. It's not me. You don't know what I've been through. Oh, the trouble I've seen. Woe is me, right? But we get to a place with our challenges where the pain of hanging on to them is less than the pain of letting go. When we can say, you know what? I can let that go now. It has served me enough. You've been hanging on to that rock in the middle of the stream when there's a beach right there. You know you can swim to it, but I know this rock. It's got my handprints and my teeth prints in it by trying to hold on. But we must let go of the challenge. So what if you woke up and your challenge was no longer the first thing you thought about? What would you replace it with? Joy, peace, harmony, love, divine right action. See, once we move our attention just to even 51%, the whole scale slides. But we think, and this is maybe just me, but I have a default to the negative. I used to. Oh, how bad can it get? And the universe always says, yes, let me show you how bad it can get. And it would. You ever had a problem and then another problem just was right behind it? Like, I'm just going to go back to bed today because apparently I got up on the wrong side because problems keep compounding. But they're not problems. They are invitations to open your mind. My dad used to tell me that. I'd say, I've got this challenge and it's so different. I don't know what to do. And he said, wow, you're learning what to teach. Dad, stop that. I hate that metaphysical thinking. But it's true. You're learning through your challenges how to not have it anymore and possibly teach someone else to walk through it a little gently, a little more knowledge. So I've got 3 talking points as usual. Living. It is not uncommon for people to spend their whole life waiting to start living. Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment. Can you imagine waking up at the end of your life going, why did I worry so much? I don't want to do that. I've done that. I want to wake up now and go, from here on, it just gets better. It just gets better. You know what? There still will be challenges. You know, just because you come into spiritual living doesn't mean all your challenges go away. It means you just don't blame everybody else anymore for them. You take responsibility and you introduce spiritual energy into it and you have a healing. That's spiritual living, is spiritual healing or revealing of the truth. You know, there's really nothing to heal. There's something else to know. And the minute we say, oh, I know it all already, I don't need to take any more classes or learn anything new, you just shut down the universe by showing you that you are not teachable. So let's stay teachable. Many of us go through the motions of daily life unaware of the beauty that surrounds us and is within us. We wait for something spectacular or rare to inspire us. I got news for you. You are as inspired as you're ever going to be, but you are going to have moments where the veil is lifted and you see the truth. And everything all of a sudden becomes one. And that is why we're here, is to remember that we're one. That's the biggest joke of the universe. You know, we're sent off to be these billions of countless energies to only make our transition and realize that we're all one. It's a great universal joke. Like, yeah, let's send them in and just give them all different looks, different energy and they can decide whatever they want. And it's all about coming back together as our oneness. What a great joke. I'm going to have words with the creator about that joke, because I think there's a different way of doing it. But that's me telling the universe what to do, right? So, number 2, everyday wonder. Something very extraordinary is happening here. There are no ordinary moments in life. And that's Mary O'Malley. And the title is, What's in Your Way is the Way. What's in your way is the way. So what you thought was blocking you is your avenue to all that is. But see, we want to get that thing that's in our way out of the way as soon as we can. We want to power through it, when we should be giving it the attention it needs so that it no longer bothers us. We don't want it to go away to come back later. We want it to go away so it never comes back again. If you're going to pull a weed from the ground, you don't just pull it off the top. You got to get the root. As you know, if you just mow the weeds, they come back even stronger. Because that sends more energy down that, oh, they like us. We're fruiting. Let's spend more energy being bigger. We need to get to the root of our challenges and release them. And that's what the little pieces of paper that we're all given are about today. I'll get to that in a moment. Number 3, this year, here we are, a brand spanking new baby year. Nothing has happened this year yet. It's only the 2nd. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all creation. And our mission at the Centers for Spiritual Living is to provide spiritual tools for personal and global transformation. Personal and global transformation happens in our daily lives, in our daily experiences. It's in the mundane moments that we're teachable. So don't think, well, this is just a commercial. There's something for you in the in-betweens. And it's in the space between the spaces spiritual living happens. So this year, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? How do you want to transform your experience? Relationships, nature, work, finances, home, community. Each month this year, we're going to focus on one of these areas and explore what it means to live in everyday wonder. Constantly be like a little kid. Oh, wow. I mixed these 2 colors and another color came forward. Wow. I added these 2 numbers and I got a different number. Whoa. We just use numbers like, every day, 2 plus 2 equals 4. When 1 and 1 actually equals 3. I don't care what you were taught. Because 2 together equals more. There's a synergistic energy when we come together. That's why it's spoken, where 2 or more are gathered, there I am. You know why? Because we can have lunch. I'm serious. And over lunch, we break bread together and we talk about our challenges. And we explore the universal principles of thermodynamics or whatever you're thinking about. But that's where the magic happens. So in conclusion, Guru Nanak, the founder of the Sikh tradition, said, truth is high, but higher still is truthful living. It is not enough to know the spiritual truth, we must live it. experience it, and allow ourselves to be transformed by it. When was the last time you were transformed? Within caterpillar is a butterfly. Does it know that? Do you see him strutting around going, I'm a butterfly, I just haven't transformed yet? No, they're eating all they can, not knowing why. And then they go into meditation. And our chrysalis is formed. And some energy happens and wings begin to sprout out of this caterpillar. How does that happen? Have we figured that out? We never will. It's not for us. It's one of the mysteries of life. Something happens though. What happens when we take a seed idea, when we plant it in the soil? And a leaf starts to come up and a root starts to go down. That is where transformation happens. And that's what this year is all about. So, you guys have been given, and I invite you in Zoom land to get 2 pieces of paper. One piece of paper is going to be all the stuff you want to release. And one is going to be all the stuff that you want to make happen this year. So, here at the center, I gave everybody one of these little packets. And if you didn't get one, raise your hand and Paula will bring you one. So what this is on the red piece of paper. You notice that it's smaller than the other piece of paper because I want you to minimize your stuff that you're getting rid of, okay? I want you to write down everything that you want to release on this red piece of paper and then fold it up as small as you can get it and either put it in the basket up here or put it in the collection plate. Well, why do we do that? Because you can't, yes, oh, we need 2 up here. So we need to be able to fill the consciousness of what you want, you have to first let go of what you don't want. Because that which you want can't come in because the things you don't want are taking their place. You want more clothes? Go through your closet and get through this, out of the stuff that you don't want anymore and recycle that. Yes, it's the time for that. You can't get any more clothes because your closet is filled with stuff you don't wear. It's the same in consciousness. It's the same in our minds, in our beings. So this symbolizes this. I made them red so it makes it easy for people to release it. And what I'm going to do is take all these home and put them in my sacred fireplace and burn them. Get rid of them. Why? Because that burning transforms the energy of these things into fire. And it evaporates and goes away. Now, I'll tell you how powerful this was when I first did this back in 1993. And I've been doing this every year since. I came into this teaching out of desperation. I was hurting. I had the worst relationship up to that point in my life. And I wanted to end my life. And my dad said, before you do, I think you should go to a religious science church and have a practitioner session. Dad, come on, you're sending me to God? But I did it. And something happened in that treatment session. Here I stand before you. So I wrote down my situation I wanted to release. And it was with an old girlfriend who I hadn't talked to in months after our breakup. And I tossed that sucker into the fire. And at the very moment that happened, this is back in the days when I had pagers, my pager went off. And it was her. And I was like, I went to the facilitator. I said, I just wrote her name down and she paged me and I haven't talked to her once. And she said, okay, before you call her back, finish the other side of this, which is filling out the page of what you do want. I did that and I put on their healthy relationship. I didn't say with who or when or any of that. I just wanted a healthy relationship. I called back the number. And the message was, Steve, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. She apologized. And that's all I wanted or needed. I mean, of course I wanted her back. It never would have worked. But I had a healing in that moment. That's how powerful this can be if you really pour your heart into what you want to let go of. So do that, okay? So once that's done, you need to write down on a piece of paper, and here's my instructions, everything that you want to happen in 2022. And you're going to write it not as a want, but as an already demonstrated idea. I am healthy. I am prosperous. I'm in a loving relationship. Why do we do that? And your mind go, well, you're not that. So why are you putting that down? And you say to your mind, get behind me because I'm going forward. Write down as an already demonstrated idea the things you want to be, do, and have, because that's where the power is. If you believe it, the universe gets very busy in making it so. All of a sudden, the universe goes, we got a believer down there, all right, send in the clowns, here we go, he believes, make it happen. That's how it works. So what's going to happen is you're going to fold this up and put it in an envelope, and I'm going to take these and put them on my altar. And you put your own, you're going to address this to yourself. And I'll stamp it for you, and I'll put the return address on it for you at the center. Just put your name and address on this. I'm going to collect these and put them on my altar and pray every day about whatever you put in here. I'm not going to know. I'm not going to open these and figure out what your situation is. That's between you and the universe. It's personal. So I'm going to pray on this, and at the end of the year, I'm going to throw them in the mail, and it's going to come back to you, and you're going to have forgotten everything you put on this, and you're going to go, who filled this out? What the heck is it? Oh, that day at church, I filled that thing out. Now, if you guys want more time with this, I'll be doing this for the next couple weeks, so you might want to take it home, or do a couple of them. That's fine. Maybe you think of things after you fill this out and you want to do another one. Just do another one. Don't let anything go that you don't want to transform. If you're thinking about it, get it out of your mind and onto a piece of paper. That's the first step in demonstrating. That's the first step in answered prayer, is getting it out of your head, and it becomes a manifest thing in the universe by being a word on a piece of paper. The next thing is it's going to be in the world, and your life will be transformed. So any questions about that process? Any, like what I should or shouldn't put on the red one, or what I should or shouldn't put on the request form? Anything? The pink one goes in my basket, because the pink one I'm going to burn. And you don't want those back, do you? No. Really? No, you guys don't want it. And I'm not going to open these and look at them, because I got enough challenges. I don't need to see yours. But I am going to ceremoniously take these to my fireplace and say a prayer and let them go. And there's something about doing this all together. Now, if we were a little warmer, I would take you all outside and burn these in front of you, but it's a little too cold outside. That's a whole ritual thing. Just trust me, I will burn these on your behalf. Or if you want to take them home and burn them yourself in your own ritual, that's cool too. But burn them. There is something that happens in the fire of release. There's something that happens when we know that what we were being challenged with is no longer part of our challenge. And do you believe that it's gone? And that is where the miracle happens. So the red ones go in here or in the collection plate. Is there any other questions? If there are and you don't want to say it, come see me after service and we'll talk about it. Okay? So that concludes our talk for today. I want to thank you all for being here, but I'm going to start. Thank you. I'm going to. I'm here every week. Come on back. I'm here every week. But we're gonna do with what we do in this teaching all the time, which is pray. And if you know it or not, you are always praying. Every word you say is a prayer. So be careful what you say. So let's go into prayer right now together. So I invite you, in the calm peace of your own mind, to bring to the forefront of your consciousness of what you believe the power of creation is to you. You can call it Jesus the Christ, Great Spirit, Source, Energy. That's your business. But I think we can agree that there is something that is beating our hearts, is breathing our body, is causing the sun to shine, the snow to fall, is telling the birds which way to fly in the south. There is some power that is creating all the time. And I know that each one of us is a part of it, because there are no parts outside of the one. And as we know that we are all unified in that field of all opportunity, we speak our power into that. Now, I may not know what you're working with today, but I know God does. And I know that that power that heals and reveals the truth is working right now on your behalf. And as we move our attention from the challenge to the miracle, when we start to think about what our ideas of the power is and release the energy that's been holding our challenge in place, a miracle is happening right now. It is happening in our bodies, in every cell, that our DNA is moving all the molecules around for that ultimate healing in our life. It's moving things around in our body of affairs, who we meet and who we know, and how we interact with each other. And in this very interesting time, I know that healing is happening in every situation. And I call that healing forth. Knowing that a true miracle is sitting in your seat. A true miracle is happening for each one of us right here and right now. And as I call forth that energy, a new wave washes over each one of us of light, of releasing what no longer works, and in embracing of spiritual avenues to remember who we are. So let us give great thanks right here and right now. Let us enjoy the feeling and the knowledge that something wonderful is happening by means of each one of us right here and right now. And as we do, as we give great gratitude and thanks for the already demonstrated ideas in our life, it is easy to let go. For we let go and let God do the work. We plant the seed and God grows the tree. God has the hard part. Ours is just to know it is already done. And with that, we give great thanks, release it into the law, knowing it is so, as we affirm it together by saying, so it is. Amen. Okay. Where are we here? So it's time for our offertory. If you'd like to take your offering in your hand and put it on your heart, or maybe you just put your hand on your heart if that's what you're offering. Let's recite our offertory ideas about sharing today, which says, knowing that life is magnificently abundant, I live free from pleasures of heart, and so it is.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, then I go inside and quiet my mind. I can hear Spirit gently saying, there is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for being here this morning, and Happy New You. Let's say a prayer for our offertory this morning. From the love of the universe, these tithes and gifts have been collected. They're evidence of our faith, our belief, and our ability to manifest in this world of form. And they do good work in the world by blessing the giver and the receiver, and allowing this Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living to be open and available to those who are seeking the truth, and even those that don't even know they are. Or something wonderful is happening because this center is in this community. So we give great thanks. We allow this blessing to be given back to the community in a way that makes sense, is identifiable, and brings those closer to themselves. As we affirm this together by saying, and so it is. Amen. And now, our closing song.
Woohoo! Okay, everybody stand up. All right, this is sweet service, lots of beautiful music, but I don't want to leave you guys sleepy when you walk out that door in that beautiful sunshine. So let's sing together. Let's just stand. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Again, let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. Yay!
And now for our benediction. So please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening right now.
Something wonderful is happening right now.
Happening in my mind.
It's happening in my mind.
Happening in my body.
It's happening in my body.
Happening in the body of my affairs.
It's happening in the body of my
I
affairs.
think it.
I think it.
Feel it.
I know it.
I know it.
I know it.
It is.
Just the way that it is.
Way that it is not.
Just the way that it's
Thank
not.
you, life.
Thank you, life.
You. See you next week. Go out and bless somebody.